this is just the way I see it a little bit. And we're changing gears a little bit now after all that 6-part thing that we kind of did. And I'm sorry that it had to be in 6 parts, but I had to edit it a little bit. And some of the parts I couldn't fix because they're probably going to be a minute or two because I accidentally fucked up. And I dropped the water bottle almost like that, but I was struggling a little bit in one of the parts, and I talked about that a little bit in the parts. Sorry about that. But one of the main things I don't understand is why aren't the divas getting main events in not just in Habo, well, actually in Habo in general, because to be honest, if you look at the real world federations like TNA and WWE and hell Ring of Honor and Shimmer kind of doesn't count because it's all diva fed, but it still has great main events there. But look at it, to be honest. TNA did a Knockouts main event a while back in a steel cage, no less, and it fucking stole the show. And if you count WWE Superstars, when it was still on the air, and by the way, now it's online for people that can't find it on their cable, and they're wondering in their cable of providers where the fuck it is now on the channel. It's actually online now on WWE.com on the little special section they have for Superstars. But the thing is, when Superstars was still on the air, they had Diva main events 2 weeks in a row. And to be honest, that's saying something for WWE, because sometimes they don't really even give a shit about their Divas division anymore. And probably neither does TNA with their Knockouts division, but the fact is, and hell, they don't even push Gail Kim a lot. And on Superstars, 1 week she was main eventing in a mixed tag with Daniel Bryan, and the next week she main events in a 6-diva tag match. That's saying something right there. And probably still Gail Kim was paying her dues because of not paying her dues, but because of the TNA thing with the Knockouts division. They had to do something with that, or I don't know what the real reason is, what they do there. But the thing is, people like Empire, I remember in HCW, when there was probably only one Diva main event ever. And it was a mixed tag match with Matt Fair and Candice Michelle against Sierra, of all people, and some other motherfucker. But, some people don't even take it for granted. They think it's a piss break. Not just in the real world, but on Habo as well, and that's what I don't like. That's one of the reasons I pretty much quit, because if I had it my way, I'd pretty much make them a main event every once in a while, but it wouldn't be like 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks consecutive. What I'm saying here is at least give them the opportunity. Because basically, sure, at least the mid-card is something they can take for granted, or whatever, but still, or even the low card, even getting booked is a great opportunity for them. But what I'm saying is, if TNA, in the state that TNA is in right now, if they had a knockout main event and it fucking stole the show, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people's opinions, because it was Mickie James versus Tara in a knockout steel cage match, because in a way TNA's never done that except for Lockdown, which is once a year, but in an actual steel cage where nothing's on the line but pride, and they stole the fucking show. And it even went on to not Explosion, but to Reaction, when they still had Reaction back in the day, and it went a little bit over and went to Reaction. They had a few minutes there, and they stole the show still on Reaction. People still wanted to watch it, and it made the ratings for Reaction kind of go up a little more than it usually used to do, because no one really cared about Reaction, because TNA had an excuse to fucking keep the matches going after they ran off the air, and now they can't do that anymore. But still, even in that state, WWE, Empire, and all kinds of federations can still give the Divas a chance to do that. They still give them a main event spot, even if it's a tag match. Like I said before in HCW, it used to be a tag match. If that mixed tag, even if it's that, I don't care. The fact is, I'd love to see that happen. If they actually gave a fuck about the Divas division, they would help it enhance instead of letting the Divas self-implode its own division, in my opinion. But, it is what it is. I don't care anymore I still cared to even watch the division. I actually was one of the only people that gave a fuck about it, and probably now they won't give a fuck. The crowd will be dead like always, like it always is at an Empire show. It's always been dead in my opinion. You never give the crowd a chance. Sure, sometimes they'd spam the fuck out of it, and shouting, kicking them. That's reasonable as long as it wasn't too crazy. And that's for only if it went too crazy. You can let the fans talk. You can let the fans fucking cheer and boo whoever they want. That's their First Amendment. Even on a fucking game like Habbo. That's their First Amendment. And I have the First Amendment to say whatever the fuck I want on this channel and in real life. But the fact is, if you don't give them a chance, they might just quit the Federation. They might just walk out. They might just go to other places, and hell, XWE needs a Divas division too, so if anyone cares about that, there's your chance, and I'll put the link in the description for that site there, to help them out a little bit, with XWE and the Divas division as well. But, if you don't care about the people you're hiring, why even make a show? And that just doesn't go for the Divas division, that goes for every single person on an Empire roster. If you don't give a fuck about anybody, why even have a show? Why even book them? It could be the Jonathan Hawkins show for 5 hours for all I care. If that's what they really want, it's not my problem. I'm not there anymore. I don't care anymore. But the fact is, I can still have a fucking opinion about it. And that's what I don't get sometimes. People, and it's not just the Divas division. The low carders can have a chance as well. And sure, they're pushing the mid-carders and doing what they can. It's a gradual process, but at least have faith in them a little bit. And I'm not saying the lower cards make the matches long as fuck like the Divas division does, because they're trying to make themselves a little better, and they don't know any better. So you got to tell them a little bit, but at least have faith in them. When they know the match is over, they can do a good finish. Even if it's fucking planned, I don't care. If they just know what to do, you can help them out whatever way they can. And that was one of the main problems with federations like Empire, Universe, HWF, all kinds of shit. But that's not my problem. I'm not there anymore to worry about it. But the fact is, I still kind of care about it. I still hear from them a little bit. It's like, hey, I had this epic match, and me and fucking Michael Cole were standing on top of the whole fucking arena. We were gonna go for the tag team titles. That's great when I hear stuff like that. But I hear I got fucking screwed today, and I got fucked up. I don't like hearing that stuff like that. But it's possible, and it's possible they just don't care anymore. Because honestly, I don't really see role play. Like, have a wrestling role play last longer in the big corporations. You're going to have to not only help the smaller corporations to survive, but you're going to have to help your own big, no pun intended, but your big empire of a federation. Your great army, so to say. The thing you built from the ground up. You got to keep it going like a well-oiled machine. You have to make sure that everyone's happy. You can't make everyone happy, that's one thing. But at least make them know what their place is. And not only that, but make sure they have the opportunity. They have their chance to do whatever they want. And make the match their own. Which, in a way, mid-card and main event, you have that kind of cleared. But for the low-carders, they still have no set of direction. They don't know any better. And, that's what I'm concerned about. And I'm not... Even though I'm not there, I can still have my opinion and my little bit of concern there. But, I don't know where the future holds for them. I'm glad I'm not there anymore to, worry and be stressed about it, because it takes a toll on you emotionally, physically, and mentally. As if not only if you're running the federation, but for someone that wants to move up the ladder, for someone that wants to, make it up the ladder and potentially hold a championship, or even get to the mid card for fuck's sake. But the fact is, if you don't give them that chance, if you don't give them that opportunity, then what's going to happen to you? What's going to happen to everyone else. And what's not just going to happen to everyone else, but what's going to happen to the Federation in general. Because like I said before, you have to make it a well-oiled machine to succeed. And sure, you can't make everyone happy, but at least let them try to be happy in their own minds. Let them kind of get what they want sometimes. And I'm not saying to be a yes man or a yes woman or whatever, or like basically kiss their ass. But, you know, at least give them the opportunity, and if they fuck up, then you can do whatever you want. Then you could say, oh, this is why. This is why you're a low carder. This is why you can't move up. This is why you're basically a jobber. You know, at least give them the opportunity. Give them the chance. And that's all I really got to say about that. And I just wanted to get my opinion out there, and, you know, people might not agree with me all the time. People might not like what I have to say. But you know what? It comes from the heart sometimes. And sometimes, you know, you just gotta live with it. Either you're watching the video or you can just get the fuck out. Because that's really all this is. And the fact that people actually care about it, the fact that people, you know, watch this shit, I thank you for that. But to be honest, you know, it's basically a channel where I can express myself a little bit. Where I could get, you know, my 2 cents in. They might not be the best 2 cents in the world sometimes. But you know what? I don't care. Because at least I say what's on my mind. And it might not be the best thing in the world. Don't get me wrong, I've had some horrible ideas sometimes. I've had just like train wrecks. But it is what it is. And not just what it is, but you know, at least you get it out there and see if people can make sense of it, let alone like it or dislike it. And that's all really what this is all about sometimes. Because if, in a way, at the end of the day, you look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, and you see a fucked up piece of shit that can't get anything done. Or you look in the mirror and you see the greatest thing that God has ever made in your mind. And you give that idea. You have that plan. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you can't get that plan out, if you can't get that idea out, at least if you don't stand with what you think is right and what you believe in, you're going to be a little sheep following the leader like a little scapegoat, you know? And at least that's the way I see it. I don't know how you see it. You can have your own opinion. You can put it in the comments or whatever. And hell, I see hate comments like, hey, you're a fucking retard. I don't care. It's the fucking internet. Who cares? And personally, who gives a shit? Because if you're going to let the internet get the best of you, well, why are you here? Why do you have a life if you're not going to use it? And that's all I got to say about that. Peace.